demo. This is what's playable on the show floor if you're here, and we've got it on console. We've got it in the amazing sled that you got a chance to try out earlier today. But it's what I love about this this demo is that it's really representative of the entirety of the experience of Forza Horizon 3. We have a bunch of different cars that you start off with. We've got 3 cars to choose from, including the Centenario, which is at the booth. I know I saw the picture of you in it.
To sit in it yesterday.
Amazing.
That was pretty cool. Just about dissolved. It was amazing.
I wasn't actually sure they were going to let people in, so I'm really happy to say.
I thought they were joking.
Yeah.
We were filming a segment for the Xbox Daily for last night because I interviewed Ralph in front of the Centenario. And we wrapped the interview and they were like, "Do you want to get in?" And I was like, "Stop it, guys."
Yeah, stop teasing.
They're like, "No, seriously, we need a shot of you." And I was like,
"Sure."
Jumping over the edge to get in.
Well, what a lot of people might not know is we've got the designer of the Centenario is here from Lamborghini.
Yeah, the builder.
Yeah, and you got to meet him, right?
Yep. Yeah, really cool guy. He's like, "Yeah, I built this at my shop." I was like, "That's amazing."
Right. You built
I'd love to see his storeroom.
Right.
It's just like full of carbon fiber and goodness knows what else.
It's been great to watch. I've actually seen him a couple of times just sort of taking pictures with fans, and I imagine that this may be his first E3, so what an experience for him, and what an experience for people who get to see the Centenario.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 cars to choose from. You're going to be in the Centenario, Chris.
Figure I'd jump in.
And this, when we start off, we're here in Australia, right? We'll talk about Australia, of course, but this is. We don't really refer to this first section as a race. This is more like a cruise because that's really one of the core tenets of Forza, right? You're not always racing in Forza Horizon. Sometimes you're just hanging out with your friends and you're just jamming around the world, and that's kind of what we're trying to represent here. Here you've got a bunch of supercars, really fast cars. There's no indicator on screen that says you're in first, second, or third. You're just hanging out and driving. It's supposed to be a fun experience. But you can feel that Centenario. You can hear it. It's an amazing car. Incredible top speed, of course. It looks amazing. And, and you get a sense you're already seeing the different kinds of ecotypes that we have. In Australia, we've said it over and over here at E3, this is the most diverse world we've ever created for Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
Incredible moments like that where you're fording streams and you're driving through the rainforest. This map is twice the size of that of Forza Horizon 2, which in and of itself was already a big world.
Yeah, it was huge, yeah.
But
if you're going to go to Australia, you've got to do it big, right?
It's got to be big. And Australia is a big place, of course, but it's also a diverse place. This is the most. Not only is this the biggest map we've ever done, this is the most ecotypes we've ever done. When we think about ecotypes, we think of like rainforest. We think of outback, rolling hills, wine country. We think of cities like Surfers Paradise, which you'll be able to drive in Forza Horizon 3.
Right.
And here we go. I mean, we transition. I don't know if this has been done before in an E3 demo with Forza where you transition
I love how you've
cars.
done it, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so smooth, and it gives you all those different experiences without breaking you out of the demo.
And you've got the guy yelling about his truck. I don't know if you've heard him. He's like, "Hey, mate."
I'm not afraid to use them.
That's right. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So
Can I just say to everyone at home, we'd love to hear your questions and comments on the chat. If someone on the production team can sort the surface out here, because I'm not seeing chat come through, that would be amazing. But you're joining us here live from E3. I've got Brian Ekberg and Chris Bishop from the Forza team here. We're playing Forza Horizon 3. This is the demo that you can play on the show floor. We're going to take a few runs at it and talk to the guys about the game itself. So let's go back to Australia. Was that kind of always on the plan? Do you kind of map those things out in advance?
Nice.
Or?
I think that if you listen to Ralph talk, Ralph Fulton's the creative director for Playground, and that's the team that's made this game. If you listen to him, it starts with a really long list and they pare it down.
Right.
But they definitely have goals in mind when it came to the environment they wanted to create. They wanted people to have a bunch of different driving experiences. They wanted lots of variety. Of course, natural beauty is a part of it.
Yep.
And with all of those things considered, it felt like Australia was the top of the list. The first game was in Colorado. The Forza Horizon 2 is in the south of France, in northern Italy, a beautiful place. But there's a real emphasis here on, there's so much off-roading, there's so much things you can do. It sort of informs the car conversation as well with Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah.
So, you have these moments where you're driving through the ocean, and it's Australia's an iconic place, and it just feels really right for Forza Horizon.
Great. I feel like Australia has a bit of an attitude that fits really nicely with Horizon as well, right?
Yeah.
And I think you get a sense of some of that with the characters you introduce in the demo, right? This
Yeah.
kind of like devil may care, wide open attitude. I think that's going to work really well for Forza Horizon 3.
I hope so. I think you're right. There's a spirit to Australia that is sort of found nowhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And just like the team went to Australia to capture the essence of the country, which is no small task when you're talking about a country as beautiful, huge,
Absolutely.
and varied as Australia. But I think there's also that sort of adventurous spirit. There's that it seems like a very friendly country. It seems like a place where people love to be outdoors. They love to enjoy the natural beauty that they have around them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that will be infused through all parts of the game.
Going out to Australia to do some research sounds like a pretty tasty job, to be
that
honest.
sounds okay to me. When the idea is you're going to Australia and you're just going to do a road trip,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I think I can.
God.
Yeah.
Another day at the office.
Oh man, we got to drive the Gold Coast. No, thank you. I'd rather be in an office.
What's the response been like from the Forza community in Australia? Like, I'm thinking about our man Domestic Mango that we know and love.
Well,
He
he
must
of
have gone over
course.
the moon.
If you don't know Domestic Mango, he's a member of the Forza community who's an amazing creator of videos, and he's an Aussie. He's been with you on Forza Fuel, I know.
Yeah.
So he's just a great guy, and it was really in the back of my mind as the community manager. I have specific people in mind that I think of when we showed the trailer for the first time, and the first person I thought of was him. I was like, he's just I can't wait to see his reaction.
Yeah.
He's going to really love it. But no, I mean we've talked to media, we've talked to streamers. I was actually in a stream yesterday. I know it's not Australia, but with some folks from New Zealand yesterday who were just over the moon about their region of the world being represented.
I thought they had a bit of a... I thought that was like the Scots and the English.
I didn't get any of that vibe.
Why are you going to Australia?
Right.
That's the worst Kiwi accent. But that is why they hate it, right? Because people like me try and do a Kiwi accent.
Well, they were... I don't know. If there's...
Sorry, New Zealand.
Yeah, they were really cool about it.
Chaps.
They were...
Oh, that's really good, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's cool. New Zealand would be a good one.
I've gotten a lot of questions like, when's the New Zealand expansion? I'm like, we're not talking about expansions.
I like that.
We're focused on Forza Horizon 3.
Oh, very good. Cool. Yeah, so you do, I think the other great thing about this demo is, you've really cherry-picked some of these amazing different ecosystems and environments.
There's is that the first rewind of the day, Chris?
It's the first rewind.
Okay, good.
Just get it out of the way.
You only get one.
Only get one.
Deary me. And you're giving people that experience in a very kind of concentrated form here at E3, right? Wicked.
Yeah, and I've heard from people. It's like, can I go drive off in the demo and go explore? And this is admittedly a pretty scripted experience because we want lots of people to play it in a compact amount of time. But of course, when the full game comes out, it's open world. You go where you want. We want you to explore. We want you to feel those transitions between as you go from one region to the next and see how smooth it is. Playground is really excellent at that. You feel those transitions from one zone to the next, and you're like, wait, now I'm in the outback, right? And it doesn't feel abrupt. It feels very natural.
Yeah.
They're really good at that.
It's such a classic racing game trope as well.
Yeah.
Remember old racing games from the 80s, you had those transitions, like think about Outrun or a game like that. You had those transitions. And to see it happen now in such fidelity and so smoothly, to your point, like, it happens without you even realizing it. And then suddenly you're like, wow.
There's some magic in art direction that I don't quite get, but these guys are masters of it.
Well, let's talk about the size of the map. I bet you hate this question, but
no, I love it.
How long is it going to take to drive from one end to the other?
I don't know the answer to that, but like we talked about...
I suppose it depends on the car as well, right?
It depends on the car, of course, but, if you think about the last race in Horizon 2, the final race, where you cross the entire map, essentially, that was like a 20-minute race or so. 20, 25-minute, but depending on the car you were in.
Yeah.
The easy shorthand is, did you get your results,
306.
306. Okay, so let's keep that in mind, 306 for that last race.
306.